I'm sharing Christmas cookie recipes that you can use to make beautiful Christmas cookie boxes, to take to cookie exchanges, or just to have in your house or give to friends. Chocolate chip cookies are, of course, amazing year-round, but today we're taking that and turning it into two different things. One is called Merry and Bright. It's cranberry, a touch of orange, and white chocolate, and the other is just an M&M. I mean, who doesn't love an M&M cookie? One recipe, two cookies. You can make a bigger batch, kind of divide it in half, and make it that way, or just make two batches. They freeze great, and they're always a crowd pleaser. Let's get baking. Today is a spin on a classic chocolate chip cookie, two ways, neither of which is chocolate chip. So I'm just going to show you how the base recipe works once, and then I'll show you the two variations for, honestly, two perfect cookies for any cookie box you want to do. And they're going to freeze great, so you can make them ahead and then just bake them when you need them, instead of trying to make the mixes and bake them all the same day. So as with most cookies, you're just going to start by creaming your fats and your sugars. So I've got butter and Crisco. And I also have sugar and brown sugar. And we just want to cream these guys together. So once you've creamed your fats and your sugar, you just want to add vanilla, regardless of what flavor your cookie is going to be. So if it's the M&M cookie, it's just going to get vanilla and eggs. Just want to combine these guys. All right, once our eggs and vanilla are incorporated in, I'm going to add our flour, baking soda, and salt. We don't want to overmix the cookies. We still have add-ins, so we just want to just combine it. So for our M&M cookie, now you get to be a little bit creative and do what you like. I have full-size M&Ms, and I also have mini M&Ms, and I like to do a mix of both. And then I'm also gonna put some on top before they bake. If you aren't as big of an M&M fan and you like them for the festivity and the color, but you love a classic chocolate chip, you could definitely do half chocolate chip, half M&M. You could also make them all regular chocolate chip and then just dip the top in M&Ms. If you want to make it even more colorful, you can also add some sprinkles. So I'm going to add a few Christmas sprinkles just so there's extra color throughout, as well as my mix of M&Ms. And we want to just mix this until it's combined because we don't want to break up our M&Ms. And there's our dough. Isn't that beautiful? I like to do about 1.5 tablespoons at a time for my chocolate chip cookies that are going to go like in a cookie box. So this is a small cookie. Now if you want the great big cookies, then just do bigger, and they're going to cook up great like that. I like to scoop them into a bowl that has M&Ms in them, and so that the tops are covered and they will spread out as they bake, and kind of the top will have a nice assortment. You could also add sprinkles in there if you wanted sprinkles. I just put the sprinkles inside, so when they break them open, they'll be nice and full. You just want to scoop these out onto a parchment-lined baking sheet and pop them in the freezer if you're not going to bake them immediately. If you want to bake them and eat them the same day, or make them and bake them the same day, you want to refrigerate it for a few hours, or you could freeze it for like a half hour before you bake them. Once they're totally frozen, though, you can just throw them in a baggie, and they're sitting there ready to go when you're ready for them. So for a regular M&M, we're just going to add vanilla along with our eggs. But for our Merry and Bright, we're going to add orange oil. If you don't have or don't want to do orange oil, you could also do the zest of an orange. But it's about 1/4 of a cap, or it's probably an 1/8 of a teaspoon. You don't want to do a lot. We don't want an orange cookie, but the cranberry, orange, and the white chips just come together, and it's just Christmas in a cookie. Let's be honest about it. So orange oil, but if you don't have or don't want to buy this, do some orange zest. And we're going to do that along with our eggs. So instead of adding M&Ms or chocolate chips, I'm going to add some chopped up cranberries. I just did a rough chop. You don't want a ton of itty bitty pieces. You could do a couple pulses in a food processor. You sometimes risk having them too small, so I just did it with a knife. In they go. And then also white chocolate chips. And we want to mix this just until it's combined, because we don't want those cranberries to get broken up in the cookie. and it'll become kind of a pink cookie. So I really like fresh cranberries for this. You could make it with frozen if that's all that you have, but it's probably going to turn your batter pink instead of it being more like this where it's a, you know, beige cookie with all the stuff in it. These can be scooped and frozen just like the M&M ones, and then baked off whenever you need them. All right, my M&M and my Merry and Bright cookies are out of the oven and they've cooled enough for me to pick them up. It's just an updated chocolate chip. If you like chocolate chip cookies, you're gonna love these. Of course, this one's gonna taste the most like a traditional chocolate chip because it's full of chocolate, but candy coated fun Christmas chocolate. And then we have our Merry and Bright, and I'm a little bit partial to this one. The cranberries in it make it even just a little bit softer than a regular chocolate chip. I love it. It's so good. It tastes like Christmas. These are a great addition to any cookie box, or just as a gift, or to take to a Christmas cookie exchange. Hope you guys make them.